You know that feeling when you're traveling and someone asks you a question that seems super simple, but something about it just feels a little off? Well, today we're going to dig into one of those questions, a phrase that shows just how much meaning can be hiding in a few everyday words.
Okay, so let's set the scene. Imagine you're in a place like Korea. You run into a friend, a coworker, and one of the very first things they ask is, "Have you eaten?" And maybe it's not just once, maybe it's every single day. It can be a little confusing, right? You start to wonder, what's the deal here?
Yeah, it's one of those questions that can feel kind of personal, maybe even a little nosy, and you're left scratching your head trying to figure out why, especially when you learn it's one of the most common greetings in many parts of Asia. So your brain just kicks into overdrive, right? You're thinking, are they asking about my diet? Are they judging what I eat? Or maybe they're trying to figure out my schedule. It is so easy to get the wrong idea because we're trying to answer the question with a literal, logical answer. But that's exactly where the confusion starts.
To really get it, we've got to peel back the layers. We have to look past the words themselves and see this huge gap between the literal translation and what's actually being said.
And this, right here, is where it all clicks. If you translate it word for word, it sounds like nutritional surveillance. I mean, that sounds so cold and clinical, like someone is monitoring your food intake. But the real meaning, the reason people say it, is all about social care. It has almost nothing to do with food at all. And honestly, this is the perfect example of how language is so much more than just words on a page. Your translation app can spit out the vocabulary, sure, but it can't give you the culture, the history, or the genuine human connection that's packed into a simple phrase like this.
So here's the big takeaway. This question isn't about what's in your stomach. It's about your overall well-being. It's a cultural shortcut, a quick and easy way to say, hey, I see you, and I hope you're doing okay.
This whole idea of social care is really the key. The best way to think about it is like their version of "how are you?" or "what's up?" You know, when you ask a friend, "how's it going?" you're not usually expecting a detailed 5-minute report on their life. You're just signaling that you care. It's exactly the same thing.
And that's why this quote is just so spot on. The true power of "have you eaten" isn't in the words themselves. It's in the relationship between the two people. It's a way to strengthen that bond. It's like saying, hey, life can be hard, and I just want to make sure you're doing all right and being looked after.
Okay, so we get what it means, but how do you actually, respond to it? Because your answer is just as important as their question. It's kind of like a social dance, and you have to know the steps.
And it's actually pretty simple. It really just breaks down into 3 steps. First, just recognize what's happening. You're not being quizzed, you're being cared for. Second, just give a simple answer. "Yep, I've eaten, thanks," is perfect. You don't need to give them your lunch menu. And third, and this is absolutely the most important part, you ask it right back. "Have you eaten?"
See, when you return the question, you're doing so much more than just being polite. You are literally completing a social circuit. It's like they sent a little signal of warmth to you, and now you're sending it right back. You're showing them that you get it, that you understand the real conversation you're having.
And this really hits the nail on the head. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if your pronunciation is a little off or your grammar isn't perfect. The real communication mistake isn't fumbling a word, it's ignoring the human connection that's being offered. It's failing to show that you care in return.
And that kind of brings it all back home, doesn't it? I mean, think about the phrases you use every single day without a second thought. What's up? How's it going? Do we really actually want to know what is up? Or are these also a kind of social charis, a way of completing a circuit and just returning a little bit of warmth? What are the hidden meanings swimming just below the surface in your world?